Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. And hopefully you're already a subscriber. We have over 28,000 subscribers. It's pretty amazing. And this topic and how I'm going to address it is the reason why we have so many subscribers, because we deal with marriage in a practical way, in a realistic way, with an understanding that marriage is a spiritual entity, and that we are spiritual beings, and that marriage is about love and happiness. That's what marriage is all about. I used to be a divorce mediator over 20 years ago, and I believed in divorce at that time. And then a couple asked me to help them. They had already failed. They went through marriage counseling. It failed them. And they asked me to help them because I was expert in communication. They thought that's where all the problem was. I asked for 3 months to really understand marriage so I could help them. I didn't want to just help them get through the tough spot, because it was much more than that. They were ending their marriage. I wanted them to experience marriage how it's meant to be experienced, but I didn't know myself. So this question that you have, can a married woman have feelings for another man, is a very deep question. It really opens the door to a number of topics. And I'm going to address this in a way that maybe some will see it as too lofty, but it is realistic. So first of all, you already married your soulmate. And let's talk about that a little bit. When you met each other, there was this spark. And the psychologists wrongly call it infatuation. I guess you could call it infatuation, but what it really is you met your soulmate again, because a soulmate doesn't just happen in one lifetime. That's a preposterous idea. You're a soul, and your journey as a soul has brought you through literally millions of incarnations. And so when you meet again, there's this spark of recognition and a desire to have that fulfilling connection, because marriage is, and I came up with this definition and it's my favorite so far, but marriage is an individual spiritual path that you do with your soulmate. Why is it a spiritual path? And I know that the way you have approached marriage, this may all sound like, what is he talking about? But stay with me. You got married because you fell in love. Everyone does, almost everyone. And you didn't continue on that path of living your marriage on the plane of love. But love is spiritual. It's the most spiritual word there is. It's not like loving your new car or this new dress. Love is that experience that you have where you literally feel it in your heart. And it is so overwhelming, it oftentimes brings tears to your eyes. Sometimes, it comes like a thief in the night. And you don't know where it's coming from. And then the mind, you see, you're a soul. You have a mind. And your mind is very mundane. It's a very material thing. It's like a computer that you, the soul, have. And it wants to give love a context. But it can't, because the material world is just a material world where love, the spiritual world, is infinite, just by its very definition. So what happens is you met your soulmate, you fell in love. First there was that infatuation, but because we're not taught, you didn't follow through. You thought you were following through. You dated, you courted, you got engaged, you got married. That's how we see following through in a material way, in a mundane way. But follow through in a spiritual way would be to cultivate the joy, cultivate the connection, cultivate your devotion, but you didn't do it. So now let's just say you're wandering through the world, and bam, you bump into another soulmate. And we have countless soulmates. And so, because you've been living your marriage on a very mundane plane, what happens? You have that excitement of finding your soulmate, another soulmate. And so you're drawn to be thinking about that person. And you have feelings for them, of course. And it causes confusion. What am I to do? What are you to do? So here is what you do. There is an answer. This wasn't just a discussion so you know what's going on. There's an answer for this. The answer is that you recognize that as a soul, you can and eventually will develop love for all mankind, for all your brothers and sisters. No problem. But now at the state that we are in, we find one person whom we travel the spiritual path of marriage with to the end. But we do it correctly. We don't do it as if it's some ride at Disneyland that we got on, or the E-train in New York going to the Bronx. No, this is the real deal. And one of the purposes of marriage is to learn to love unconditionally. So yes, you can have feelings for this other man. Don't pretend you don't, but you don't run with it. You're not to be distracted by that and think, well, what is real here? Because I'm sharing with you what is real here. How it happened, why it happens. So you're not the only one. It happens to people all the time. But your focus should have been, and I'm not blaming you, you were never taught. It should have been so much on your marriage, on your husband, on developing that connection with him, that you would barely even notice that you bumped into your other soulmate. And now what the thing to do is learn how to be married. Learn how to develop that connection with your husband. And because you're in this state now, I would normally say, well, you could just listen to these videos. You should definitely subscribe. Listen to these videos. Start getting a sense of what marriage is all about. And some people go pretty far listening just to these videos. Other people read one of my books. Other people, and I think in your situation, it might be a good idea to actually get the Course for Women so you can be really focused. The Course for Women is a very interesting tool for you because it starts with learning how to master your mind and within the context of your marriage. And it brings you from wherever you are now to bliss, marital bliss. Because that's why we get married. We want to experience marital bliss. Again, bliss is a very spiritual term. You don't feel bliss by eating ice cream. You feel bliss by opening your heart, by becoming one on many levels with your soulmate. So that's it. I hope this was useful for you. At the Marriage Foundation, that's exactly what we try to do, is give you useful information that you could apply, learn and apply to your own life, your own marriage. And a number of people have been following us. My God, we have over 28,000 subscribers at this time, and gaining the rate of people subscribing. It's really fascinating, taking off much faster than I imagined it would. And we are going to have, I was training our counselors, and you could write to our counselors, it's free. I was training our counselors one-on-one, well, 1-on-20 or so, and now we're past that point. I can't do it anymore, so I'm creating a counselor training course. We want to certify counselors. We want to set counselors up so that they have a great practice, learn all the things that I had learned when I was working live, and really get the word out, the right word, so people can really have great marriages. I mean, it's sad when you think about how many marriages break up, how many marriages don't deliver. And so if you're interested in becoming a counselor, or if you're clergy, or if you're already a marriage therapist, I can't stand that term because how can you therapize a marriage? But if you're already wanting to be part of TMF, let us know so that we can, and the way to do that is to go to our website, hit the Contact Us button, and let customer support know to let you know when it's ready to go. And then they'll let you know. So in the meantime, I hope you like this video. I appreciate your coming to visit us. And if you want to leave a comment, please do so. And thank you so much for spending time with me. God bless you. God bless you. And I wish only the best for you and your marriage. Take care.